Just gotta pray and check on João Félix and hope that his mental health is okay, because I know this guy is going through it. João Félix, I don't think anybody could have told him that he was not permanently a Barcelona player. The way that this guy was moving last season, the way that he was doing interviews talking about Barcelona, I think he forgot it was a loan. This guy was talking in an interview and they asked him about Bernardo Silva, right? We all know that Bernardo Silva, the Man City player, is being linked with Barcelona. And he was like, yo, I tell Bernardo Silva to join us at Barcelona every single day. I'm like, bro, do you know that if they bring in Bernardo Silva, your ass is going back to Atletico Madrid? I don't think he knows. I think he's just now finding out that you are not a Barca player, bro. And it's not even like he could stay at Atletico. You notice how there's not been any rumors about Atletico trying to bring him back into the squad, because he's ruined his relationship with that club. He scored on those guys twice last season, and he celebrated like a man that, bro, the way that he celebrated against Atletico Madrid, the 2 times he scored on them, I said, oh my gosh, does he not realize he has to go back there? Especially because we all know that Barca are broke. They can't afford to bring him back. They want to, but it's going to cost them maybe 30 to 40 million. And that's just something Barca don't have right now. I mean, their fans are sending them money through their TikTok comments. Barca are broke. They're poor. So why would he act like this, knowing that there's not a guarantee that you will be back there next season? It's crazy. It is crazy. And I don't think Atletico should be loaning him out, especially not to Barcelona, because this is a team that they're trying to compete with, right? Atletico Madrid, they want to win the league, right? They want to win the Copa del Rey, the Spanish Super Cup. They want to go deep in the Champions League. So why would you loan Barcelona a player that's actually pretty good? Because I don't know about you guys, but I actually rate João Félix. I like him. I like the profile of player that he is. And it would make no sense for Atletico to loan him back to Barca. You did that last season, and he dunked on you twice. You had egg in your face, literally. Now, with it looking unlikely that Barca are going to be able to buy him, João Félix has to find a new home. And they're passing my guy around like he's a blunt. They're talking about, you take some João Félix. You take some. No. Bro, this guy needs a permanent move. He can't keep going on loan, right? We saw him on loan at Chelsea. We saw him at Barcelona. What's next? And it looks like Atletico Madrid might sell him to Villa. Now, they're saying that Unai Emery is a big admirer, right? He is he wants João Félix to come in. And if you guys don't know, I rate Aston Villa. I like the business that they've been doing, right? Like, since they've sold Jack Grealish, look at how far they've come as a team. Look at the squad that they have. Their owners have been doing some great backroom business by hiring these different managers and the different directors of football and whatnot. They have a serious squad, and I'm actually very excited to watch Aston Villa next season. We will be doing a lot of watch-alongs for them when I can. And they also made Champions League. On top of being in the Champions League, they also have the second best manager in the Prem. Yes, Unai Emery is now the second best manager now that Jurgen Klopp has left. It goes Pep, Unai Emery. Look at the CV. It don't lie. Anyways, they got to bolster their squad, right? And so far, they've lost Douglas Luiz, who I think that's going to hurt them, right? Because Douglas Luiz was a really good player. He's gone to Juve. They've also just sold Moussa Diaby to Etihad. So they do have some holes, but they signed Ian Matson at left back. And who I think everybody is assuming is the Douglas Luiz replacement, they brought in Amadou Onana from Everton. And now they're trying to go out there and bring in João Félix. And if I was them, I would do this deal. This looks like good value on the market because last season for Barca, João Felix was playing really well. On that left wing, he was cooking. And then Xavi just dropped him for no reason. I don't get why. Do you guys know why João Felix just got dropped out of nowhere? Point is, I think he could cook at Aston Villa. Now, people are talking about him being a Moussa Diaby replacement. No, he's not. Even though, they both are wingers, technically. He's not going to be able to replace Diaby because Diaby, his game is predicated on pace and power. João Felix is a player that slows down the game, is technical, likes to get on the ball, get his teammates involved, can pick out a pass, right? And it's going to be interesting to see how they use him. Because we know that Aston Villa last season were a team that killed people on the counter. Balls over the top. That's why Ollie Watkins in transition is a fantastic striker, right? When teams are playing kind of like a high line against you, you want an Ollie Watkins in there. And we know that Unai Emery, he does like to implement a 4-4-2, right? We saw it at Arsenal when he had Lacazette and Pierre Aubameyang, and they were cooking. Maybe he looks to do something similar here by bringing in João Felix, and then maybe you just drop him a little deeper, and then you still leave Ollie Watkins higher up the pitch. I don't know. But again, I view player transfer market like how I kind of view stocks. You know how when there's a stock that's really high and everybody's buying it, everybody believes it's the next best thing. But then that stock starts to drop a little bit. And then people, they jump ship, right? Like they're like, yo, I don't want to be a part of this no more. But then there's some people who look at it and say, you know what? Even though the stock value isn't what it used to be, if I buy in while it's low, it might go back to being what it used to be. And that's how I view João Felix. Because I think he did well at Chelsea when he was on loan there. But I think Atletico wanted like 80 or 90 million to make that loan permanent. He was never going to be worth that money. Barcelona, he played well. I think the mistake that João Felix made was going to Atletico Madrid from Benfica. That deal was what, 130, 127 million? It was the wrong fit. You want to know why? It was the wrong fit because the pragmatic style of play that Atletico Madrid have is not what's going to get the best out of a player like a João Felix. Like, imagine how different his career would have been if he would have went to maybe an Arsenal or a Man City. Or back then, if Barcelona, because they had money back then, if Barcelona would have bought him. Right? Just imagine how different things could have turned out for him. And I think for about 25 to 35 million, getting João Felix could be a good deal. And I actually do back Unai Emery to be able to get the best out of him. They got to bolster their squad because they're going to be in Champions League next season. They're going to want to try and come top 4 again. They got to play in the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup. So they're going to need to rotate. And I think depending on the system that Unai Emery implements, João Felix can cook. For sure, bro. I'm telling you, he's a good player, man. You got to just put him in a team that's going to allow him to be on the ball. He's like one of those players that's kind of positionless, right? In terms of nobody really knows where his best, like, is his best position as a winger? Is his best position as a second striker? Or is it as a center forward? Or is it as a number 10? Or is it as an 8, right? He's kind of like a Kai Havertz. I think he's better than Kai Havertz. But he's very similar to Kai Havertz in terms of where the hell do you play this guy and get the best out of him? Luckily for me, it's not my job to figure out, chat, but it's Unai Emery's. And I do think he will figure it out because he is a really good manager. And again, I think João Felix can help them. But let's be honest. I know João Felix does not want to go to Aston Villa. This guy's going to do everything that he can to try and get another move to Barcelona. But it just depends on what the finances are. Barca going to be able to sell players or not. If I was him, I definitely would not just reject Aston Villa because they are a big club, right? They are a club that has a history, right? They've won Champions Leagues, right? Like their past is very rich. And they're doing some good business right now. I like that squad that they have, bro. Ollie Watkins, Amadou Onana. You got Leon Bailey. You got Emi Buendia, Diego Carlos. right? You arguably have the best goalkeeper in the Prem in Emi Martinez. You got Kamara, what's the guy's name? Bubukara or something like that. Yeah, good business. So if I was João Felix, it's definitely a move that I'd be interested in making, for sure. But yeah, as I said, people, I think next season Villa are gonna cook, and I think that they will be in the conversation for top 4. I don't think they'll win a trophy, right? I don't think they're gonna win the Prem. I think their best shot of a trophy is Carabao or FA Cup, because Champions League, I don't think they're gonna be able to do that either. But Unai Emery, that CV that he has, he's shown that he can win cups. And he has a lot of resources. Villa are a rich club. Their owners are loaded. He's going to have more resources than what he did at Sevilla when he was winning all those Europa Leagues. So we all know that he can go on a nice cup run. So yeah, this is definitely a team to keep our eyes on. Let me know what you guys think about João Felix possibly going to Aston